Okay, so I have Stewie, and he is ready for his morning grooming. I do a full grooming session in the morning. I generally put in a top knot. I'll clean his face. I'll brush him out, check the tangles. All the normal things that we do aside from bath day. Okay, so I'm going to ask him to lie down. And I'm going to pet his belly because he really wants me to. Today I just have a little bit of our standard Crown Royale conditioner mixed in with water. And I'm going to mist him with this because he's getting close to bath day and I feel that he's a little dry. Today I want to condition as opposed to detangle. I usually just part the hair a little bit in the middle. I'm going to use my slicker brush today because he's had some loose undercoat. And I start at the back of his neck. There's usually a lot of mats. They like to form behind the ears. As fast as I demat the area, they just keep forming. Probably because he scratches. And the concept with the slicker brush is you want to start at the base of the hair, close to the skin. I don't grind it into his skin. It's a little prickly, but I do want to rough up any loose undercoat that could potentially knot. And I usually hold my hand at the base of the hair, just so it doesn't pull on him. And I want to work the loose undercoat out towards the ends of the hair. You really just want a quick motion. You don't want to linger because it pulls on the dog. So I go down the body, and then I tackle each leg. I hold his leg up into the air to reach the armpit area. This is another prime location for mats. So he's a little ticklish, and he's silly. He always wants me to brush the belly. So we'll accommodate him and brush the belly. I take care around the back side. He tends to be a little knottier back here and a little sensitive. I'm going to hold the leg up. To get the underside of the leg. Okay, so when I'm confident that he's not too tangled, I'll use my pin brush to brush the hair back down in the direction that it naturally falls. Where I use the slicker brush to rough up the loose undercoat, my pin brush is more to bring any of that loose undercoat towards the ends of the hair. Today it's pretty quick because he's not He's not terribly naughty. It usually takes me 10 to 20 minutes. I could sit here for 40 minutes if he's particularly naughty, which sometimes happens in the spring when he's getting rid of the coat from the winter, or in the winter when it starts to grow in and the dense undercoat is competing with the summer hair that needs to fall out. Now Stewie is very downy. He is one gigantic cotton ball, and he's very difficult to maintain. He's time consuming. But in the end, for me, it's worth it because he's absolutely gorgeous when he's finished, and we get a lot of compliments. There's the same process on the other side. I'm pretty much detangling, working my slicker from the base of the skin to the ends of the hair to rough up any of the loose undercoat. The top of the tail is another place that mats like to form like nobody's business. So I know to check these areas. You learn by trial and error. I know exactly where the knots form, which is a good thing because that's the first place I check. Now I do a full grooming every morning and partial grooming every night. And you don't necessarily need to, depending on your dog. However, I find that I very rarely encounter full-blown mat because I maintain the dog on a daily basis. Okay, so I'm confident that he does not have any mats and that the undercoat is completely roughed up. And again, I'm going to take my pin brush so that the hair falls back in the direction it would naturally lay. And I'm going to, this ensures that any of the undercoat that I did rough up is being brought out to the surface. Okay, so I'm going to ask him to sit up. Sit. Chin up. And I'm just going to make sure that there aren't any mats on his chest, and that I work through the coat. The last step is I take my wide tooth comb and I go over his coat just to make sure that all that loose undercoat comes out. And he's pretty close to bath day. He looks naughty, but he's not really. It's just that the loose hair has a little bit of a harder time to come out when the coat is dirtier. The last thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to just give him a quick ponytail. I'm not going to put a dog bow in right now and make a top knot because it's a little gross outside today. and it's just going to get wet and muddy, and that's not cute. I'm going to give him a quick tap now. Going to find my face comb and just remove the eye crispies. So I clean the face, I comb through the face twice a day. And now he's handsome and ready to go for the day. I like to use, one quick tip is I like to use the wide end of my comb just to remove the hair out of my brushes. And now they're ready to go for the next one.